Stuart.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. To ask the First Minister what consideration the Scottish Government has given to increasing the minimum unit price for alcohol.
First Minister.
We are absolutely committed to ensuring that going forward we have in place a level of minimum unit price that remains effective in reducing alcohol harms. Obviously, when minimum unit pricing was first introduced, at that point we did not know that we were facing a pandemic, and that has had an impact on use of and consumption of alcohol. Prior to the pandemic, however, we were seeing early and very encouraging signs of a reduction in alcohol sales and a reduction in alcohol-specific deaths. The evaluation of minimum unit pricing is, of course, ongoing, with a final report from Public Health Scotland expected in 2023. And, of course, any change to the level or any detail of the minimum unit pricing policy must have a robust evidence base.
Stuart.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to remind the Chamber I'm a member of Moving On Inverclyde, a local addiction service. The First Minister will know that the most recent stats indicated that Inverclyde had the highest level of alcohol-related deaths during the peak of the COVID pandemic. And every death is a tragedy, and I offer my condolences to those affected. It's clear that minimum unit pricing was having a positive effect, but due to inflation, the effectiveness of the 50p unit price will have declined. And bearing in mind that alcohol was 64% more affordable in 2017 than it was in 1980, particularly in supermarkets and also off sales, would the First Minister consider increasing the minimum unit price in line with inflation, or even slightly above that, in the upcoming budget, and commit to setting up an external commission to look at when future increases should occur and also what level they should be?
First Minister.
I'll certainly consider any suggestions of that nature, and will take these suggestions into account. It's really important that we do two things. They're obviously related. Firstly, properly and robustly evaluate the policy of minimum unit pricing. Indeed, that was a commitment that was given when the legislation was passed and when the policy was introduced. That is underway, and we will know the outcomes of the Public Health Scotland evaluation in 2023. But in terms of the level of the price, yes, it is important that we keep that under review and that we take account of factors like inflation, because the level of the price is critical to ensuring that that policy continues to be effective. There were encouraging signs pre-pandemic that it was being effective. We need to take account of changes since then. So these will be issues of ongoing and very careful and evidence-based considerations of the Government.